What's up, guys? Davidinator1212 here today, and it's deck profile number 2 for Halloween. It's going to be Frightfur Fluffals today. Woo! On a side note, I am dressed as Marty McFly. That has nothing to do with Fluffals. I figured I would do this in celebration of it being 2015, October, the month that Marty goes forward to the future. So I figured, let's have some fun. Alright, guys, let's get to it, Doc. Alright, guys, let's get started real quick. 2 Archlord Christia, 1 Tomahawk. This thing's kind of neat. Mills 1 edge up from your deck or discards 1 from your hand so that you can kind of, set up a graveyard. 3 Fluffal Dog. This thing's fun. It searches Edge Imp Sabers or a Fluffal monster. 2 Edge Imp Chain. This thing searches a copy of itself when it attacks and a Frightfur card when it's destroyed. Edge Imp Sabers, this thing's kind of the most important Edge Imp. It's required for most of the fusions. It can top deck a card to summon itself from the graveyard, and you can make a rank 3 with it with our tour guide from the Underworld. 2 King of the Swamp, you discard this card to search polymerization. We are playing an old school fusion deck, so we do need polymerization. Also, it can replace one of the fusion materials listed on the cards, which kind of alleviates the use of our Edge Imps. 3 Fluffal Owl, this thing is a polymerization in and of itself at the cost of 500 life points, as well as searching polymerization, so this kind of gets your deck moving. 1 Fluffal Sheep, it's a resource management card. Summon itself if you have a Fluffal, bounce a Fluffal to summon an Edge Imp. 3 Fluffal Mouse, some people don't like the card, I love the card. 1 copy can summon the other 2 from the deck. This combos really well with your Frightfur Tiger. 2 Fluffal Wing, you need this thing. It sends one of the toy vendors to the graveyard, banishes itself, and another Fluffal monster to draw 2 cards, and then you get a search. It's really good. 1 Frightfur Fusion. I like this card. It's a little awkward. It banishes the fusion material listed on the fusion monster to fusion summon, so we kind of like to play this thing last. We don't really want to use it too early because then we can't do anything for the rest of the duel. 1 Regeki, 2 Polymerization, and 1 Fusion Substitute. 1 Foolish Burial, and 3 Valhalla Hall of the Fallen. This thing's kind of cool. Lets us just slap down Christia as well as get the effects of Dog and Owl. Frightfur Factory is probably the weirder card in the deck. It banishes Polymerization to fusion summon, so you end up kind of wanting to go Polymerization to fuse, then Frightfur Factory to fuse, then Frightfur Fusion to fuse. 3 Toy Vendor. This thing's really lousy. It's a draw engine, I guess. Discard a card to draw a card, and if it's a Fluffal, you get to summon it. If it's nothing, then you just have to discard it. Problem is you need it for your wings, because when it's sent, like I said, from the field to the graveyard, you get to search a card, and that's really what we want to use it for. 1 Moon Mirror Shield, just in case you can't fusion summon, you need to get around something. 2 Trap Stun to get a back row. Magical Hats is kind of fun. You summon 2 toy vendors to the field to get 2 searches. It also kind of keeps you alive for a turn. That's kind of fun. Then 2 Frightfur March. If a Frightfur monster or monsters is targeted by anything, you can just negate it, and then you can send that monster to the graveyard to summon one of your level 8 monsters. You won't use that second effect too often, but if you do, it's because it'll establish a big monster that you can use to game, so be wary of the second effect. And the extract's really simple. It's for rank 3s, you got Dante, Alucard, and Levier here. For rank 4s, Exciton, Castle, and Rebellion. And then what we really care about are the Frightfurs. We got 2 Frightfur Sheep. This thing has an Armades effect, and when it's killed, it can come back with 800 extra attack. Kind of hard to deal with. My favorite one, Frightfur Tiger, it gets a pop for every material used to make it, and when it combos really well with Fluffal Mouse, just get tons of board clearing. Frightfur Wolf, this thing gets an attack for every material used, so this thing's an OTK machine. 1 Leo, we make it with Swamp, it pops a monster to do effect damage to your opponent equal to that attack. 1 Saber Tiger, this guy's coming out soon. Really cool. When this thing is fusion summoned, it summons back a fusion or monster from the graveyard, most likely the one used to make it. So this thing can establish 2 really big monsters really quick. And then we got 1 Mad Chimera. I don't really like the card. We run it because we can make it. Once in a while, it's kind of funny. It has an Armades effect, a Goyo Guardian effect, and for every monster it summons back from your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field, it gets a little extra attack. So we might make it once in a while. That deck profile? Man, that's heavy, Doc. Alright, guys, that was the deck. Time to duel! Alright, guys, this first one is up against Raid Raptors. So I open the dog, and I set the Frightfur March. I didn't open very well, and I don't really like going first. That's kind of lame, so I figured I would just make a safe move and see what he's doing. Makes 4 Strix. Gets Fuzzy Lannis. Sets a bunch. Yay. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Let's just search some stuff. Oh, pop some stuff. And he tries to Icarus attack me, so I use the Frightfur March. Great card. And then I go for another fusion, Saber Tiger, to get back my regular Tiger and do a bunch of damage. Call 100 for 4 strikes. Kill it anyway. Warg. And he quits. The next one is against Melodious. It was kind of funny. I was like, oh, he made me go first. So I just walled up. Get my next turn ready. Play the toy vendor. See if I can get something. I ended up milling my tour guide like a ugh. So I see that and I'm like, are you playing the same deck? And he's like, nah. He makes X-Town here, which is, I feel like, a bad move because he had some stuff on his board too. So, but okay. Whatever. Time to recover. I figured I'd sit on Egypt Sabers for a turn. See what he does. Take some damage. I'm like, alright, well, here we go. Start swinging. And he quits. Alright, this last one is against Cleese. He opens really, really nice. He gets the Scout. And he's got the Trample Link, so he can get the Double Scout. Trouble is, he did have to Pendulum Summon his Monolith, which is a little less than ideal, but he got the Sacrifice, and he's got a Mirror Force and a Wiretap, so he's doing pretty good. So I'm like, alright, let's do some shenanigans here. I need to get as many monsters on board as I can, so I can just do some serious poppage. Boom! Wipe the board clean. He does get the Sacrifice Search, which is frustrating, but I end up doing tons of damage to him. Set the old Trap Stun and end my turn. This is an older build with one Saw instead of a Swamp King, so that's the only difference. So he just Pendulum Summons back to wall up. I play my monster. Pendulum Summon for the Saber Tiger. Get back my guy. Bam, bam, bam. Dino Jam. And he doesn't draw into anything he needs, so he just walls up again, and I draw a monster, which is game over. GG! Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the deck and duel. I really kind of like the deck. It's fun. I think it needs just a little bit more. With the new support coming out in November, the deck definitely gets a giant power boost. Next up, I believe it's going to be Ghost Tricks, so join me for that one. I will probably rope Caitlin into doing that one as well, so it'll be fun. We'll have a little banter that you guys always seem to like, and we'll do a little costume thingies, so it'll be cool. And remember guys, if you don't troll the meta, who will? I'll see you guys next time. I think I'm well illuminated. Doc! Doc, I think I'm... Ah! That's the power of love. Wait, Doc. You're telling me you made a time machine out of a DeLorean? That's the power of love. You disintegrated Einstein.
It's cold, damn cold. Marty! It's your kids, Marty! Something's gotta be done about your kids!
Why did they turn out to be assholes? Don't need money, don't need fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Wait, plutonium? Did you rip this off? It's my Calvin Klein costume. I just see it in your eyes. That's the power of love. Bom 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 bom. Back in time. All right, this is mostly just nonsense.